work in insights, foresights, innovation, and R&D, then the next few minutes is for you. Hi, my name is Ujwal. I'm the co-founder of Lux MotivBase, and I'm here to give you a brief overview of our platform, but more importantly, demonstrate how it's useful in your day-to-day work. As anthropologists, we are preoccupied with the study of meaning, but in particular, with the study of the implicit side of the meaning equation. What do I mean by that? In the example on your screen, the associations you're looking at in red are what we call explicit associations. They're things you can ask the consumer directly. But that's not telling us the full picture, because more than 70% of the meanings we human beings ascribe to the world around us are implied. In order to get to the implied side of the meaning equation, we have to look at the full contextual picture of discourse around a topic like food. It's the only way that allows us to uncover systems of meaning hiding from plain sight. For example, a system showing us that the link between food and diet is moving from one that was in the realm of physiological health to one that is now in the realm of mental health and wellness and preventative health. Very interesting insight that we wouldn't uncover if we simply looked at the explicit associations. To bring this to life, I've run a live search on our technology, Lux MotivBase, on the topic of breastfeeding support. I specifically chose this topic because it's a complex one. It's ridden with tension, with innate social pressure that women and mothers feel. And immediately what you'll notice is our technology takes the millions of conversations that consumers are having in the context of breastfeeding support. It quantifies and surfaces the most dominant meanings, the most dominant breadcrumbs of language. It allows us as users, as anthropologists, to then start to double-click, dive into these breadcrumbs of language in order to really understand what is top of mind in the perceptual frame of the consumer in the context of breastfeeding support. Here's an example. The topic equal parent. Very interesting topic because it demonstrates how women are talking about needing emotional and physical support from their partners, and having their partners play an equal part in taking on the stress of ensuring that the child has its nutritional goals met. It's a very stressful period, obviously, and it's ridden with a lot of guilt. And it's an example where you're seeing the culture and the expectations placed, for example, on men, or in particular on partners that are not actually breastfeeding. Those expectations are changing and evolving, and now we can also calculate how quickly that change is coming by calculating the maturity of the topic or the trend. Maturity is, in essence, an important concept in anthropology. Unlike traditional analytics that says a trend is something that's talked about, mentioned a lot, anthropology says that's not what a trend is. A trend is something that has enough consensus in meaning. If people don't agree on what breastfeeding support means, then it's not a trend. It's just a fad. It's something that is constantly ridden with tension. What we're seeing here is, yes, it's an early consensus stage, but it's actually growing heavily and slowly inching into what we call the zone of innovation, mainstream acceptance. Again, I won't get into that now, but we can tell you much more about that, and feel free to reach out. The other thing the technology also does is gives us an immediate understanding of the sociodemographic makeup of the analysis, as well as give you the ethnographic DNA. So it's doing the job of an ethnographer, in essence, interpreting the data we're feeding it to identify the implicit motivations, attitudes, fears, and values that are affecting the human being here. It's giving us a very empathetic human understanding of what's going on in these people's minds and hearts as they're dealing with the stress of breastfeeding support. Again, I'm barely scratching the surface here and obviously just showing you the self-serve version of our technology. We do have a hybrid business model with PhD researchers that can support you to do intricate ethnographic analyses, jobs analyses, and build foresight programs. Feel free to reach out to us if you have questions on any of these. Thank you very much for tuning in.